We're discussing a trial that we recently completed studying at-home cognitive remediation in adults with multiple sclerosis or MS. Individuals with MS, many of them live with cognitive impairment to some degree, and so it's a major challenge with not a lot of treatment options. So cognitive remediation or cognitive rehabilitation are strategies aimed at helping them overcome some of these cognitive problems to help them have a better quality of life on their day-to-day basis. Recent technological advances in cognitive remediation have used internet or web-based platforms that can deliver cognitive training or cognitive remediation in ways that have never been done before. So rapid learning trials really driving optimal learning, and also adapting in real time to the user so that to maintain their challenge. So a new advanced way to do cognitive remediation, and a tremendous advantage also of these platforms is that they can be accessed from home. So participants or patients don't have to come every day to receive the treatment. We wanted to study one of these programs that have these advanced features, and we compared it to a program of computer games, regular computer games that don't have the features. So just things that might have face validity, people would think would be cognitively enhancing, but yet don't have the features that drive the learning. So we studied Posit Science's Brain HQ, adapted for our research study, compared to one of these comparison conditions, and enrolled 135 participants and a pretty wide range of participants, and enrolled them, randomized them to one of the two conditions for 12 weeks. And we sent them home with a computer, and we remotely monitored them. So we had them, so it was different than just letting them go out on their own. We monitored them in real time with the computer use and the gameplay, and recorded it that way, and then also had a study technician checking in with them and coaching them. So we instructed them to play an hour a day, 5 days a week for 12 weeks. We included all subtypes, so it's especially important we included primary progressive patients, which, as you know, are not often included in trials. So we really wanted it to be as real world as possible, so that if somebody was actually prescribing these games or training programs, we really want to know, or they sought them out on their own, we really wanted to know if they would work for them, or what a person with MS could expect if they did a program. It was really exciting. First, we found that this was a really feasible way to reach participants for cognitive remediation. We had great enrollment, and in both conditions, everybody was very compliant, and so they really enjoyed being able to access this treatment from home. So that was one big win for us for future study and for future use. While we found that the comparison condition, the easy games, were actually played significantly more than the training condition, that adaptive feature condition. How we think it's because the games are probably easier. But despite that group playing more, the group with that adaptive condition had significantly greater cognitive gains. So they played less, but they had greater gains. And in addition, within that group, the more they played, the greater their cognitive gains were. And the way we measured that was at baseline, and then at study end we did administered neuropsychological tests that are very commonly used in MS or sensitive, and we took a composite or average score. And so we looked at, from study baseline to study end, the change or improvement in cognitive functioning based on that composite general measure, and that's what we saw, the significant gain in the adaptive condition. Actually, we think that, based on our study, that they had an improvement. So the average participant definitely had an improvement. That while some participants would have an improvement that we would consider clinically significant, but even modest gains are pretty exciting in a condition where you wouldn't expect improvement. And so we're not exactly sure what's driving that improvement, but that's a really exciting feature if we can improve versus just compensate for impairment. It's probably specific to mental cognitive functioning. However, one of the secondary benefits that we've observed and want to understand better is that participants, especially in the active condition, often reported that they did walk more and felt more engaged in the environment. And We're not exactly sure. That's probably just an arousal that they were more engaged. And also participants really enjoyed, especially those that might be on disability or more relatively isolated, to be tied into study personnel and to have a lot of them treated it as this was their job. And so they, trained for the day. And that just brought them a higher level activity and engagement than they've had before. So that was a benefit we weren't expecting, but a lot of participants told us that they just found themselves more active for those reasons. But it requires study. That's why we want people to, because there's a lot of marketing claims and the widely available programs, and every day I think there's going to be more and more programs coming out, and so we really need to study it, and that's why we were excited to have these findings. Is that first, this is a great way to study because it was an easy, fun way to reach our participants, and also that that there are gains, and so now we want to know who's most likely to benefit, how much should they play, how will the benefit last if you stop playing? These are all really next step questions that we're excited to answer. So it may play a role in preserving cognitive functioning. So that's another big question, is if the use it or lose it kind of model. So that if this provides a way for individuals to engage and be active cognitively and preserve their functioning, that might prevent decline in addition to having the gains that we talked about. I think neurologists, but any doctor really, because I think participants or patients are more and more going to be asking, do I have cognitive impairment, and if so, would playing one of these programs help? And so I think it's, even beyond MS too, but I think it's really important that we study specifically for MS and understand exactly with MS individuals. There have been positive findings with across other disorders with cognitive impairment. So mild cognitive impairment and just aging-related cognitive declines, and in schizophrenia as well, and some other conditions. And so the benefits are probably general to a point, and I think once you get to something at the level of fully diagnosed Alzheimer's, it might be too far to actually engage in the program. So we did have a baseline, so if they had very severe cognitive impairment, we didn't enroll them in the trial. So, but I mean, we did take a wide range of participants, but at some level, I think you are too impaired to actually engage in and participate and get meaningful results from one of the programs. Definitely just to better understand the benefit and to predict it. So again, the goal here is to reach people in the real world and have neurologists and all physicians be able to prescribe the programs knowing exactly what to expect. And so who benefits, and does that benefit last, and how much do you have to do to get the benefit? And then also, can we enhance the benefit? So while this was really exciting, at the group level, the benefit was modest at best. And so we really want to enhance that. We feel it's a positive signal, and can we make it stronger and better and last longer? So.